So I might have accidentally stumbled upon the best method to do the new Safari Harvest event in Grow a Garden. Honestly guys, doing this is super easy and you guys don't even have to play the game too much. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what I did. And honestly guys, this is super easy to replicate. I'm not going to tell you guys to get some rainbow pets or spend a bunch of Robux or something. No, this is super easy to do. Literally anyone can do it. So let's just go ahead and hop straight into this. Before that though, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, that'd be very cool. We're trying to get to 400k. Anyways, let's hop straight into this video. So first things first, what you want to go ahead and do is obviously see what is being requested by the merchant right over here. So whatever this NPC is requesting is what you have to go ahead and submit. As you guys can see right now, this guy is asking for leafy plants. If you guys don't know what a leafy plant is, simply just go here and search up leafy. Make sure you search the entire thing up. And as you guys can see, each and every one of these things is actually a leafy plant. And there is actually a lot of leafy plants in Grow a Garden. As you guys can see, almost every single plant, every single flower is a leafy plant. So step number one is to go ahead and identify a type of plant that you have a lot of seeds of. For example, with leafy, again, I probably have hundreds and hundreds of leafy plant seeds, such as tomato seeds right over here. As you guys can see, I have 141 of them. So I have a lot of tomato seeds, and the good thing about tomato seeds is they grow back very quickly. Tomato seeds are some of the fastest plants to grow back inside of Grow a Garden without using any sort of water buckets or like sprinklers or something. No, they just grow back naturally super quickly, so they are a perfect fruit to actually go ahead and do this method with. Alternatively, I also recommend getting something like blueberries. These are also considered leafy plants, so if you guys don't have a lot of tomatoes, you can use blueberries too. Alternatively, you can also go ahead and use coconuts, but the thing about coconuts, guys, is they are quite difficult to obtain. But simply what you want to go ahead and do is plant as many leafy plants or any other type of plant that you choose. It could be woody, whatever you guys want, just simply go ahead and plant it down, as you guys can see, just like I have right here. So in my garden, I mostly have leafy plants, which as we saw before is exactly what the merchant wants to give us a bunch of rewards. But hold on, we're not done just yet, because step number two, after you guys have identified the plant you want to go ahead and plant, for example, once again with me, it is going to be leafy plants. I'm just going to go ahead and load up another plot for you guys, just so I can show you guys for people who are actually doing this for the first time. So as you guys can see, I actually have a bunch of coconuts planted up here. Once again, you can either go with coconuts, you can either go with tomatoes, whatever you guys feel comfortable with, whatever type of plant you have the most of. And once you guys have done that, you simply want to go ahead and wait for your specific trait to be requested by this merchant. Now, this merchant's traits actually reset every 3 hours. Every 3 hours? No, I meant every 30 minutes. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about there. But every 30 minutes, this guy's requests are actually going to reset. So you only have 30 minutes to actually do this. So make sure you guys check in game what he is requesting for every single 30 minutes until your specific trait actually comes on. Once again, in our case, we're going to be going with leafy. If you guys have planted coconuts, you can go with something like woody. We also have tropical, which is also pretty good. So yeah, you guys can go with whatever the hell you guys want. Honestly, leafy is going to be the best and the easiest because there is a lot of tomatoes that you can get out of this. Anyways, once you guys have planted your leafy plants, your woody plants, or whatever you guys want, you now want to go ahead and get yourself a specific pet, and this is going to be a giant ant. Giant ants are super easy to obtain from bug eggs. If you guys have a bunch of bug eggs like I do right here, these are going to be super easy to get. They're like a 40% chance to get from the bug egg. So guys, I'm telling you, this is very easy. Literally anyone can do this, and you guys probably have a bunch of giant ants already if you have been playing this game for quite a long time. Alright, so once you guys have your giant ants, let's go ahead and plant down all of my tomatoes too, just so I can show you guys how this method works. So I usually use an autoclicker to plant my tomatoes super close together, just like that, and as you guys can see, it's like super satisfying, bro. But yeah, I should be able to plant my 100 tomatoes in pretty much no time. And check that out, guys, 150 tomatoes planted in this small corner of my map. This is why I love tomatoes to do this method with, guys, because it honestly just takes up so little space. For reference, these are like 30 coconut trees, and look at the amount of space that's taking up. Coconuts are still very good because they do give you guys more points per coconut, don't get me wrong, but tomatoes just have quantity over, you know, the amount of points you can actually get out of them. For reference, if you guys don't know how the point system actually works, coconuts are a mythical plant, as you guys can see right here. Mythical plants give you guys 5 points, so this is going to give you guys 5 points each each coconut that you actually submit. Whereas tomatoes, because they are only a rare plant, only give you 3 points. But honestly, 3 points are not that bad because tomatoes, you can get hundreds and hundreds of these in pretty much no time. You guys AFK here for a few hours, you can get hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes pretty much like instantly, bro. So that is why I like doing this method with tomatoes. Anyways, you guys have your giant ant. Make sure you have like at least 8 of them. The more you have, the better. But yeah, simply go ahead, plant down all of your tomatoes just like this. Plant down all of your giant ants just like this. I'm just gonna switch plots here real quick because I already have tomatoes that are planted on this plot. So I'm not gonna wait for that other plot to grow up the tomatoes and whatnot. But anyways, once you guys have all of your giant ants planted, and once you guys have all of your tomatoes planted, or whatever other leafy plant you guys choose, you simply want to go ahead and collect everything. So as you guys can see, I have a bunch of tomatoes here. Wait, I gotta go ahead and sell my inventory real quick. But if we go back to my garden right now, and if we go ahead and collect all of these tomatoes again, check this out, guys. Our giant ants are literally gonna dupe them. Like at this point, guys, it is basically doubling the amount of tomatoes I'm getting out of this patch, and that is super OP because you can keep doing this. And watch, guys, the tomatoes are gonna grow back so freaking quickly. So let's go back and actually submit all of these tomatoes, and I guarantee you by the time I go back to that tomato patch, it is going to be completely grown back. So let's go here, submit all of my plants, and look at that, guys. We submitted about 200 plants and got about 450 points. Obviously, that is not a lot, and it's going to take you guys a lot of trips going back and forth, and that's why you can always just opt for the coconut method too, because that is going to give you guys more points. But if you guys don't mind just running back and forth and actually just doing this is actually not a bad method. And look at that, the tomatoes are already starting to grow back. This is so freaking easy. Again, this is only like 50 tomato seeds here. We've planted like 150 in my other plot, so that's probably better. Getting these tomato seeds, as I mentioned before, is not that difficult at all. But yeah, this is hands down the easiest method to go ahead and do this event. You don't even have to think much. In fact, you could probably go ahead and get yourself a macro like TinyTask and just set up TinyTask and do this method that way. Again, that is up to you guys. If you want to go down that route, you can, but yeah, it's pretty much allowed, so don't worry about it. If you guys are lazy and you don't mind spending a little bit of Robux, you can also just go ahead and spend this 9 Robux game pass right here, and this basically collects everything inside of your garden for you. And look at that, guys. For a second, bro, look at that. It's absolutely insane. And the thing with spending these Robux is it does not actually limit your inventory, so you can collect your entire garden, and there is no max limit to your inventory if you spend this 9 Robux. So it's super OP, as you guys can see right here. And because I have a bunch of blueberries and stuff in my garden too, I'm actually going to be able to get a lot of points out of this, like a lot of points out of this, even though blueberries only give you guys 2 points each. By the way, at the same time, I'm also leveling up my game pass here, so it's actually like a 2 birds 1 stone sort of situation right here. It's pretty helpful. But again, you do have to spend like 9 Robux on that. It's not really worth it in my opinion, guys. You can just you know, harvest things on your own, but it's definitely pay to win to go ahead and do it this way. Look at that, guys. My game is frozen because of the amount of plants I just submitted. This is insane. I'm trying to move my mouse right now, by the way. It is just not working. I hope my recording is actually recording this, but there you go. Oh my god. Okay, so the rewards I got were kind of mid out of this, but as you guys can see, in one go we just got ourselves 2,400 points, and that literally took like less than a minute. We also got ourselves a Grandmaster Sprinkler, a bee egg. Let's freaking go, dude. A bunch of event lanterns and a bunch of watering cans. Guys, doing this event is super easy. It's super OP. I really want to try this with my tomatoes though. I really want to give tomatoes a try, so let's switch back to my other plot. And I guess let me quickly go ahead and watering candies, or we could just place a bunch of sprinklers down actually, and that should actually grow this up fairly quickly. So let's place down the advanced sprinkler, basic sprinkler, a godly sprinkler, and since I have so many master sprinklers and grandmaster sprinklers, bro, why the hell not? Let's place those down too. What the hell? Right, so the tomatoes have done growing up a little bit. Let's go ahead and collect these. Okay, once again, my inventory is completely full. Let's go ahead and sell that off. And once again, using giant ants is just gonna make this process a whole lot easier, and we're gonna have max inventory in basically no time. Honestly, guys, doing this method without giant ants is gonna make it like twice as harder, so I recommend you guys actually get at least a few giant ants. I know I'm glazing them a lot here, but honestly, they are so freaking helpful to do this. By the way, if anyone's wondering, you don't get extra points if the size of the fruit is bigger, so there's no point using sprinklers. The only reason I'm using sprinklers here is so that they grow up a little bit faster. I'm pretty sure if your plant is gold, you get 2 extra points. Please don't quote me on that, but I'm like 90% sure because that is how it was in previous events. If it's rainbow, you get 4 extra points. If it's gold, you get 2 extra points. So I guess if you guys have a bunch of extra sprinklers laying around like I do, you can go ahead and use them. It is going to make your process a whole lot easier. But there you go, boys and girls, 200 plants submitted, and we got ourselves 571 points. Honestly, not bad for basically 20 seconds of work. Once again, I can go back to my garden and do the whole thing once again. And because tomatoes grow back super quickly, I can basically do this infinite amounts of time until, of course, the NPC right there starts requesting for a completely different trait of plant. Honestly, the only drawback of this method is the fact that you can't really keep on submitting over and over again, because once this guy changes the plant requirement, you're basically just stuck waiting for him to, you know, ask for the plant that you have planted. I hope I'm making sense here. I know it's a little bit confusing, but alright, let's use the lazy man's method once again and spend the 9 Robux. By all means, by the way, you guys don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because why the hell not, and I also get some XP for my season 2 boss right over here too, so that's like pretty cool too. But look at that, guys, we just got ourselves like 200 of these tomatoes and they are still growing, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh god, I accidentally collected all my coconuts too. Whoopsie. Ooh, look at that, guys. I just got myself a level up lollipop and a bunch of fertilizer. We love to see that. I hate that my game freezes every single time I try and sell or like submit these plants because there's so many plants inside of my inventory. I'm not sure if this is a feature where the harvest all button gathers more than your inventory can hold, but honestly, I am not complaining because it is so freaking helpful, bro. I'm not gonna lie, guys, with tomatoes, this method is pretty slow. I feel like if I do this with something like coconuts, it's gonna be slightly better because once again, coconuts give you guys like almost double the points that tomatoes give you. So yeah, there is that advantage with coconuts. But the thing with coconuts also is, guys, they do take quite a long time to grow up. But if you use sprinklers like I am with the tomatoes right now, maybe that timer could be reduced. So I don't know, you guys can try it out. If you guys have hundreds and hundreds of coconuts sitting inside of your inventory, you can still go ahead and use those. With that being said, guys, that's pretty much everything I have for you guys in this video. If you found it helpful, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.